All right, so how many of you out there watching today can say with confidence that you're on the right track to realizing your financial goals, your financial dreams? Well, for many, starting an investment plan appears confusing or complicated, but it's not, if you know where to begin. Our next guest is here this morning to share his insight on the world of investing and planning for your financial future. How reaching your goals begins by knowing when and where to turn for help. So joining us this morning is Joe Monk. He is Senior Vice President of State Farm. Hey, Joe, good morning to you.
Good morning, Danielle.
Good to see you this morning. And I have to tell you, the need, especially for women, to get a financial strategy in place has never been greater. Why is that?
Well, the answer is uncertainty, Danielle. And uncertainty typically breeds one thing that we all know, and that's nothing. We don't make decisions. And so it doesn't have to be that way, but there are tons of examples that illustrate that we simply are doing nothing in many instances. A recent survey by the Employee Benefit Research Institute indicated that 46% of workers have less than $10,000 in their savings account for retirement. That's just not adequate. Another survey by LIMRA indicates that 44%, just 44% of households in the United States own any kind of individual life insurance. It doesn't have to be this way, and unfortunately, Danielle, the losers are often women because women live longer than men do, and so the brunt of all of the experience that comes with not planning oftentimes falls on women's shoulders.
Most notably, women are, as you said, having to assume a greater responsibility towards their own long-term financial futures. Let's talk about that for a moment.
Well, let's take retirement, for example. Okay. A lot of times over a number of generations, households across America would rely on three key areas for funding their retirement. One would be pensions, the second would be Social Security, and the third would be their savings, whatever they're saving. We also know that the number of companies offering pensions to workers these days is down to about 33%. They're going to be relying on Social Security, and who knows the number of changes that could come along there over the years.
Absolutely. I think that's a big issue that people are talking about. Is Social Security going to even be there when I'm at that retirement age?
But the good news is that you can realize your dreams, but it starts with taking a good assessment of where you are today, what it's going to take to get there, and then starting with a lot of discipline.
Sure. Let's simplify things here for a bit, because it seems the only way most families really could make a plan work is if they helped their decision-making become a little bit more simplistic and a little bit more simplified when it comes to investing. Isn't that what individuals, particularly women, are looking for today?
They absolutely are, Danielle. And there is one way to start making it simple. First, think about what dreams you want to accomplish. Second, think about what things could trip you up along the way. And then manage your monthly budget in ways that protect you against those things that can trip you up or your risks, and apply as much money as you can towards the things that are going to help you realize your dreams. Now, I'd offer three things that might add a little bit of extra help for folks. Think coach, consolidate, and convenience. First, coach. A lot of us need help, whether it's we're trying to qualify for that marathon or whether we're trying to get in the shape we want. And a personal trainer oftentimes is exactly what we need to help us understand what are we doing right and what are we doing wrong. Well, that applies to our finances too, and that's why, as an example, State Farm has over 18,000 agents all over the country that are there to help be that coach for families who feel like they need it, to be able to help them understand what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong, and help get them on the right path. The second thing is consolidate. So think about consolidating all of your policies and accounts with as few companies as possible. And that'll then simplify everything from the amount of notices that you get and how you can move money around and that kind of thing. That's another really important piece. And then convenience. Make sure that you choose a company that's going to do business with you where, when, and how you choose. Those are all three things that can really help you do that. And like I said, there's no question that if you need help, reach out to somebody that you know.
Well, it's interesting because when we were doing the research for this segment, I thought State Farm was really primarily a car insurance company, and I'm sure you hear that a lot. So are you suggesting that State Farm is broader than that?
I sure am, Danielle. For instance, we know that a lot of folks do think of us as a property and casualty insurer, and we're very proud of being among the larger auto and homeowners insurers in the country. What a lot of people don't realize is that State Farm Life insures more individual households in America than just about any other company, with just a couple of exceptions. The other thing there is our mutual funds department, which we've been running since 1960, has recently been recognized by Barron's in their recent surveys for outstanding performance. We're proud of that. Finally, we have a bank. So when you think about this and the growth of our bank as well, State Farm is one of those companies that can, in fact, and really one of the few companies that can really handle your banking, insurance, and investment needs all with one company you know.
Love that, all under one roof. Well, you have done such a great job this morning, but you know I can't let you go without asking you one last question. And just a few thoughts here. What would be your last bit of advice for women who are tuning in this morning? What's the takeaway?
The takeaway is that you can absolutely have all your dreams come true from a financial standpoint if you'll just take a few minutes to sit down and think about what those dreams are. Think about what's going to prevent you from being able to get to those, and then start with your budget towards protecting against the uncertainty of those catastrophes and applying as much money towards those realizing those dreams. That can happen. If you need a coach, get a coach, but it can happen if you start today.
Well, speaking of coach, you hit it out of the park, Joe. Thank you so much for coming by.
Appreciate it, Danielle.
Great to meet you.
Good to meet you too.
And if you'd like more information on how State Farm can help you with your financial future, or are simply looking for ways on how to improve your own financial game plan, simply visit the website. There are great folks over there at statefarm.com.